Alrighty, this will be the People News. Okay, this is the Justice Revolution YouTube channel. They get a lot of great content on here, and he's been growing as time has shifted as well. He realized how the administrative and magistrates are just they're not following their own rules, and so they're kind of looking at different. Well, in short, they're doing what I'm doing, right? They're not just looking straight forward, they're looking around to try to be able to protect themselves by any means necessary. Okay. But in this case, um, there's a Trump order, which we're going to show here in a little bit, that actually I think, and I have not fully read it, so this right now, without me reading it, is hearsay by them. Okay. And what they show on the screen. But by the sounds of it, it looks like they're pretty well going after the administrative court, violating everybody's due process. And I guess Trump is supposed to start getting on their butts about this. Okay. And we all know this. Okay. In my last videos, the substitute bribe due process. Well, he says we can argue all that, but we all know, in order for this to work, the courts had to follow it. And we know the courts don't follow it, especially the lower courts. Okay? And that being said, then you had to go through appeals. Well, everything's costing money, and this. And if all the magistrates actually are acting in honor, we would have to go through all this crap. All right. Anyway, I digress.
Equity into the public for a court and what would qualify for you to hold that status. So again, these are the things that we're going to be really diving into and getting good answers to. Honestly, Alexandra, I don't have a great answer for your question right today. Because right today, anytime you step into court, it's your public person. And anytime you try to do anything to separate the two, you're labeled a sovereign citizen, you're labeled as a terrorist, and you're thrown to the wolves. Yeah. So even though the sovereign citizen is an oxymoron, you can't be sovereign and a citizen with a capital C. Okay, that's just not how it works. So,
and it speaks about it in our freedom documents, sovereignty. Exactly. So, they want to turn it around. And I think that this is that what Alexandra is asking is part of the bigger conversation too, of just like knowing who you are as one of the people. We are the sovereigns here in America. We are the ones where the power, it comes from us. And if these guys want to deprive us of our life or liberty or our property, and in these cases of, these like tax courts and traffic courts, they want to take your money. That's your property. If they want to do that, then they have to go according to what is written in the law, which is the constitutions, no matter what kind of public craziness they've come up with to trick us all. And I think that's why the move lately to that Trump at the federal level just yesterday is wiping out all of those administrative law courts. Mm-hmm. This is what they are: the traffic courts, the family courts, the probate courts, the tax courts. Those are all considered unconstitutional because they are depriving the people of their life, liberties, their properties without the due process of law, the constitutionally protected. So I don't know how much we have to go to all these, crazy extents to try to prove.
That being said, I'm on a big TV here. However, this may be beneficial for me to do this, as well as for some of y'all out there, right? And I'm probably going to do that again.
This and this and this. Can't we just state the law that's already written?
Yeah.
I'm starting to see that the nation it's coming back to that. It's like returning to this idea. Yeah, this is just yesterday. Yeah.
Now, that being said, remember, y'all, he's went through this court proceedings of being attacked by the government, and now he's the president again. So, the word I'm looking for, right? I don't think is really so much as revenge as realize how corrupt they actually really are, and how, his first 4 years he was going through the learning process of what the heck was going on behind closed doors. Since the founding father says anything's done behind closed doors is where tyranny begins. Well, he started getting the taste of it. Foucher, uh, you know, he told Foucher on TV, uh, "You didn't tell me about this," and he was mad at Foucher. And so he did a learning process. Now he went through the court system of allegedly being falsely accused and been found guilty. And and then the FBI went breaking into his house and all that kind of stuff. And there was other videos of FBI doing that to other people, right? So he may be starting to clean the house. Now, there's certain things I still don't like him on. He's kind of basically in red flag law the previous 4 years, listening to the wrong person. And the lady that he put in control, I don't know over that years that's gone by that she changed her mind about it, but only time would tell, right? Because the Second Amendment still says shall not be infringed. But at least there's a process, allegedly, that he actually looks like he's trying to clean this administrative crap up. All right? So, if he's doing that, great. uh, you know, uh, let's see where this goes.
I'm trying to blow this up a little bit so we can actually read it.
There you go.
Is that decent there?
Yeah, that looks good.
Maybe one more. All right, so this was posted yesterday, and we found this in some Telegram chats. We posted this in our chat as well. This was a memo that was sent to Chuck Grassley, who is the president pro tempore of the United States Senate. And this was sent by Sarah M. Harris, who's the acting Solicitor General. And the interesting thing about this is what this letter is in reference to says right here, multi-layer restrictions on the removal of administrative law judges. Here's what I find is fascinating. I'm not going to read the entire letter. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I will, because it's not very long. Sarah says this to Senator Grassley. She says, pursuant to 28 United States Code 530D, I am writing to advise you that the Department of Justice has concluded that the multiple layers of removal restrictions for administrative law judges in 5 United States Code 1202D and 7521A violate the Constitution that the department will no longer defend them in court, and that the department has taken that position in ongoing litigation. Then she cites this case here in Free Enterprise Fund v. PCAOB. The Supreme Court determined that granting multi-layer protection from removal to executive officers is contrary to Article 2's vesting of the executive power in the president. The president may not be restricted in his ability to remove a principal or an executive officer, who is in turn restricted in his ability to remove an inferior officer. So what does this mean, you guys? What are they doing?
They're saying that it was unconstitutional for them to put all these statutory protections in, because it used to be, it was really hard to fire one of these guys, because there was like, you had to wait 30 days, you had to have a notice, you had to have 30 days for this, you had to have, this whole list of things you had to go through to be able to get rid of someone. And now they're just saying, yeah, about all that, it's in conflict with this. And another interesting note to point out, whenever you're talking statutes, 28 U.S.C. 530D, right? Mm-hmm. Those are for government workers who are meant to serve the people, and these are the restrictions on them. They're not for the people. I just wanted to make sure to point that out for the 1000th time. But this is a rule for them, and that's what it's saying. It's saying that this is the people's business. We're in violation of the fundamental law listed in the constitutions. So the way that you've been doing it, we're not going to do that anymore. And we can fire, the president has the ability to fire them.
See, this is what has happened. And ever since we've been alive, and this has been going on for a lot longer than we've all been alive, we have all been led to believe that our public person, the commercial, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't like using the term the straw man. We've all heard the straw man. I don't like using that term at all. I feel like it's got a negative connotation to it. But
alrighty, so that's the one thing I wanted to kind of bring up on this video. That's actually interesting. Okay, and we'll see where it lies, right? Because, well, criminals still protect criminals, right? Just saying. It don't matter if it's actually real criminals or administrative criminals or officers, right? It don't matter. They're still going to protect themselves. So we'll just see how this plays out. This will be the People News. Bye, y'all.